The modern world has sold you a beautiful, invisible lie, manifestation. It is the promise of effortless change, a cosmic shortcut where desire alone is the engine of your evolution. It whispers that you merely need to align your energy, visualize your truth, and the universe will deliver the architecture of your dreams to your doorstep. But what is the true price of this sweet lullaby? It is the forfeiture of your agency, the intellectual betrayal of the agonizing, necessary work that defines a sovereign life. The quiet, terrifying question we must confront is this: is the search for the easy path not the greatest act of self-sabotage? A tragic refusal to embrace the burden of creation that is your only true power? We must look beyond the veneer of positive thinking to the cold, hard ground of philosophy. The core function of manifesting is often nothing more than sophisticated avoidance. It gives you a noble sounding reason to sit in paralysis, to mistake the act of wishing for the act of doing. You are not planning, you are procrastinating with intention. This is not creation, it is a spiritual anesthetic that dulls the existential pain of confronting the empty space between who you are and who you must become. It is a comfortable delusion that shields you from the fierce energy of action. By deferring the responsibility to a vague external force, a universe that will somehow align you, strip yourself of the only thing that can guarantee your growth: your radical self-sovereignty. To ask the cosmos to build your life is to degrade yourself from the architect of your soul to a mere beggar at the gates of chance. This is the first great, pitiful paradox. The philosophical gap in manifestation is the absolute rejection of Epictetus's dichotomy of control. The Stoics were clear: you must ruthlessly divide your world into what is within your power and what is not. Your desire is internal, your action is internal, but the result, the job, the money, the relationship, the manifested outcome is external, forever exposed to fate, contingency, and the will of others. When you invest your emotional core into an outcome that is not fully within your control, you have willingly surrendered your inner peace. The practice of manifestation, therefore, becomes a formula for anxiety and eventual resentment, transforming you into a hostage of external validation and cosmic disappointment. This is the most dangerous form of self-sabotage. When the promised wealth or ease fails to arrive, the passive mind has only one recourse: resentment. You feel betrayed by the universe, as if a cosmic contract was violated. This psychological trap kills your forward momentum. Instead of asking, "What did I fail to do?" you ask, "What did I fail to wish?" You abandon the difficult introspection required for growth and exchange it for a childish sense of injustice. This toxic cycle of expectation and subsequent rage prevents you from building your inner citadel, the unshakable core the Stoics prescribed. You remain a prisoner to external factors, perpetually waiting for a divine handout, rather than forging the strength of your character through self-willed adversity and deliberate action. This is the final, fatal cost of the manifestation delusion. This is where the uncompromising voice of Immanuel Kant enters the discussion. Kant rejects the idea that a good life is simply willed into existence. He demands duty, reason, and moral commitment. For Kant, true moral worth lies not in the outcome, but in the effort and the principle that guides the action. The universe does not care about your visualizations. It demands your coherent, disciplined action. The categorical imperative, the moral law that must be applied universally, forces you to ask, is passive wishing a principle I can universalize? The answer is a deafening no. Greatness is not attracted, it is earned, a relentless moral obligation to bring your highest self into tangible form through work and sacrifice. The crucial difference lies in the nature of intention. Manifestation confuses a fleeting, emotional desire, a mere wish, with the ironclad commitment of a sovereign will. A passive wish is just a narrative you tell yourself to feel good. A commitment is a daily act of friction against comfort. The world, the marketplace, your relationships, they do not respond to your intentions. They respond only to the tangible, measurable evidence of your sustained effort. If you are not willing to endure the unromantic, invisible work, the necessary agony of creation, then your manifestation is nothing more than a betrayal of the universal law of cause and effect. You must trade the illusion of cosmic help for the raw, terrifying power of self-reliance. The existentialists, like Sartre, deliver the final, shattering blow to the wishing mind. If existence precedes essence, it means you are born into a void, and your life is defined only by the sum of your actions. You cannot wish for a life of meaning. You must create it through choice and radical self-responsibility. Manifestation is the ultimate evasion of this burden of freedom. It is the desire for an essence, a pre-approved destiny, without the terrifying yet empowering necessity of existential action. To wish is to remain a child. To act is to become a god, creating your own code and your own world, step by painful, necessary step. So, how do we transform the impulse to manifest into a strategy for sovereignty? We must embrace the uncomfortable work of transforming vague desires into concrete, measurable systems. The goal is not to feel good, but to do what is necessary. Every vision you hold should not be a cosmic request, but a brutal architectural blueprint demanding immediate, unromantic action. This is the shift from "I will manifest this jobs" to "I will perform 5 specific actions today that make this job an inevitable consequence of my effort." The pain of confrontation is the only reliable signal that you are making real, tangible progress. The power of visualization is not in attracting a reality, but in mentally preparing for the friction required to build that reality. It is a Stoic exercise, a premeditatio malorum of effort, a careful mapping of the pain, doubt, and resistance you will inevitably encounter. The sovereign philosopher uses a vision not as a wish, but as a strategic map to deploy their energy. This requires trading the glamorous thought for the mundane tool, the grand vision for the smallest, ugliest first step. Your energy should not flow outwards, begging the universe. It must flow inwards, solidifying your will for the necessary immediate action. The time for magical thinking has ended. The ultimate freedom is found not in the effortless flow of the cosmos, but in the heavy, deliberate weight of radical ownership. You are not a magician. You are an architect, a laborer, and a philosopher. You build your world with grit, reason, and the daily act of duty. Your sovereign vow is simple. Abandon the comfortable lie of external aid and embrace the full, terrifying power of your own will. The universe does not give, it only responds. What is the first unromantic, necessary action you will take today? Share your answer below. Join this journey of self-mastery where we trade wishful thinking for unshakable action.